Okay, so we are on lesson 2.8, and we're going to start out with this wheel. Honestly, this wheel is nothing new from what we've been doing with our dividing fractions. And on each one of these numbers for your division wheel, there's two examples. And these two examples, they build on one another. So I am just going to do example 1 and go all the way around the circle. And then I'm going to do example 2 and I'm going to go all the way around the circle. So we're pretty much going to do the wheel twice. So starting with number 1, improper fractions. Do you see that you can't just multiply this? Or divide this. So very first thing that you have to do is multiply 2 and 8, and you get 16, and then you have to add 16 plus 5, and I get 21, and you always keep the same denominator, which is 8. Okay, I would write these notes. They are super helpful. And then just keep on writing the fraction like normal, which would be 6 over 7, okay? It's just wanting you to make sure that you know how to turn a mixed number into an improper fraction. And if you follow these rules, multiply and then add, you should be good to go. So I'm going to rotate to number 2. And remember, I'm still working with the same problem based on number 1. And number 2 says rewrite as multiplication. And we know how to do that. We always keep, I would put KFC. Okay, keep the first fraction, which was 21 over 8. Flip the second fraction. So now the 7 is going to be on top and the 6 is going to be on the bottom. And then change the sign from division to multiplication. Okay, again, keeping this same problem and just rotating to box number 3. It says cross out. And so 21 over 8 times 7 over 6. Oh, 21 and 6. These have a factor of 3 in common, and this one has a factor of 3 in common. So 6 divided by 3 is now going to be 2, and 21 divided by 3 is now going to be 7. Please ignore my dog. And then I'm going to rewrite it so it's pretty. Mia, shh. 7 over 8 times 7 over 2. Okay? Then we're going to switch over to number 4. And it says multiply the numbers. So rewriting 7 over 8 times 7 over 2. Multiply straight across. You get 49 over 16. Okay, I see that there's a bigger number on top and a smaller number on bottom. As we've learned the last few lessons, that means you have to shove the top number over, and that's what number 5 is. It's saying to simplify. So if I shove the top number over, it goes 49 to 16. And if I divide that, I have an answer of 3. That goes into it 48 times, and if I subtract, I get 1. Remember, we have to keep the denominator the same, which was 16, and whatever your remainder is, that goes on top. So my answer in simplified form for example number 1 is 3 and 1/16. Okay, so now we're on example number 2, again starting on wheel number 1. This is changing any improper fractions. Are any of these improper fractions? No, they're not. So happy face, you don't have to do anything. Okay, step number 2, you have to rewrite it with the KFC. So keep the first one, which was 3/4. Flip the second one. So now we're going to have 9 over 8 and change the symbol, which is now a multiplication sign. Okay. Now, moving on to step number 3, I'm going to rewrite it 3/4 times 9 over 8. I'm going to crisscross any 3 and 8 don't have any factors that they have in common. 4 and 9 don't have any factors that they have in common, so we can't really cross out. So step number 4, I'm going to rewrite it again. 3 fourths times 9 over 8. Okay, if I multiply this straight across, I get 27. If I multiply this straight across, I get 32. Okay, and then it says simplify. So 27 and 32. I don't think that they have anything in common. I think that is the lowest and simplest form. So, bam, there you go. That's the answer for example number 2. Okay. All right, we are still on lesson 2.8, and in your book on page 117, number 4, it asks you to draw pictures. Again, the end of your test is not going to ask you to draw pictures. They're just going to want you to do the math. So ignore the picture part and let's just do the math. So here's an improper fraction. Remember, pause the video, see if you can figure it out before I give you the answer. So I'm going to multiply 4 and 2, and I get 8. Then I'm going to add 3 to it, and I get 11, and I have to keep the denominator, which is 4. I have a whole number here. Automatically, I have to put a 1 at the bottom of it to make it an improper fraction. My second step to dividing fractions is to flip the second fraction. So now I have 1 over 2, and I have to change the symbol. Okay, I'm going to check for crisscross. Those don't have a factor in common. Those do not have a factor in common. I'm just going to multiply straight across, and I get 11 over 8. I see that this is an improper fraction because the big number is on top. That means I have to shove it over. Oh, 11 and 8. I'm going to have my whole number here. I'm going to have my fraction. I can already put my denominator over there without even thinking about it. Okay, 8 can fit into 11 how many times? Just 1, with 3 left over. Here is my answer to number 4 in the book. Okay, that was just our basic math. Didn't have to do anything. This is where we need the most practice. I need the most practice in this one too. It's dividing fractions in story problems. I get this mixed up all the time, so I don't blame you if you get a little bit mixed up. But definitely putting the correct number first, super important. Okay? So on number 5 and number 6, there's story problems. And how I like to think about it is the first number is what you have. What do you have already, or what is the total? And it's everything that you have together. Okay. The second number is usually like the serving size, or it's what you want to break it up into, or the pieces. Okay, it's the smaller bits that you want to break it up into. So, for example, on number 5, on page 117, it says Marty has 2 4/5 quarts of juice. That is what he has. You can put have or has. So that was 2 4/5 stuff of juice. And he pours the same amount, so those are the servings or the pieces, or he's breaking it up into different bottles, and he pours it into 2 different bottles. Okay. How much does he pour in each bottle? So, following the rules, you have to multiply, you have to add, and you have to put this over 1. So 5 times 2, 10, plus 4 is 14. I put 14 over the same denominator, which is 5. I flip this, so it's 1 over 2, and I change this right here. I'm going to crisscross, divide by 2, divide by 2. I'm just going to multiply straight across, and I get 7 over 5. I see that the bigger number is on top. 7 and 5. Put a fraction line and automatically put this one on the bottom. It just saves you time. How many times can 5 go into 7? Just one time. And whatever your remainder is, put that up here. How much juice did he put in each one of the 2 bottles? He put 1 2/5 cup. No, quarts. It says quarts. The label is not super important, but 1 2/5 quarts is how much he put in each one. Moving on to question number 6. It's another story problem. Okay. How many 1/3 pound servings, that's a key word. If it's the word servings, I know it's going to go second. So that was 1/3 servings are in 4 2/3 pound of cheese. What number? 4 2/3. Okay, if you want to write these 2 things in your notes to help you remember what order, because if you're looking in here, it doesn't give you the number sentence. You have to be smart enough to know what order it needs to go in. Okay, again, following the rules, multiply and then add. And my denominator stays the same on the first fraction. So 4 times 3, 12, plus this top number of 2, 14. Flip my second one, 3 over 1, change this, bam, bam. I know that 3 can be canceled out, so it's going to be 1. And it's 14 over 1. How many servings of 1/3 size servings are in 4 2/3 thing of cheese? There are 14 small servings in that amount. Okay, normally I don't have you like flip pages and stuff, but I feel like we need an extra practice. So we're going to move to practice number 2 on page 118. And on this it says a box of crackers weighs 11 1/4 ounces. Hayden estimates that a serving, keyword, a serving is 3/4. We know that servings are going to be our second number. 3/4. Okay, our original number was 11 1/4. Okay, now that we have it set up and we're looking for those keywords when we're reading the story, we can move on with life. Automatically going to put my denominator down here. 4 times 11, 44, plus 1, 45. Okay, I'm going to flip this second fraction, so 4 goes on top and 3 goes on bottom. I'm going to change this to multiplication. I have a lot of crisscross elimination that I can do. I can get rid of these 4s and turn them to 1s. And I know that 45 and 3 have a common factor of 3. So this gets turned into 15, and this gets turned into 1. So if I just do my multiplication, it says 15 times 1, which is 15, and 1 times 1 is 1. So how many servings are there in those crackers? There are 15 servings. Okay, now let's talk about your worksheet. 2.8. We're on 2.8. And again, it shows you pictures. You don't need to do the pictures. I don't grade pictures, okay? I grade math. I grade numbers, okay? So on number 1, do this math and write the answer. Number 2, do this math, find the answer. Same with number 3 and number 4. It tells you to draw a model. I'm not going to do the pictures, okay? Just do the math. On the back, I would ignore this part and I would ignore the bottom. I would just look at the 2 big boxes on number 1 and number 2. It gives you a total amount of pizza. You have this amount of pizza and you have this many servings. Hopefully from your notes, you know how to set up this math problem and that you can solve for the answer. Only do number 1 and number 2 in these big boxes on the back. You do not have to do this. You do not have to do this. Have a wonderful day. Be amazing. See you later.